Prior to using your cat and Genny, a visual inspection should be carried out to ensure there's no visible damage and the equipment is fit for purpose and it's inside its service due date. Now we have carried out the visual checks, we need to carry out battery checks on both cat and Genny. Place the Genny on the ground, press the on button. If there is no sound or the battery warning light flashes, replace the batteries in a gas-free atmosphere. To check the batteries for the cat, switch the cat on by squeezing the trigger, checking for an initial chirp. A low tone indicates low batteries. If there is no sound, replace the batteries in a gas-free location. You also need to check the service due date via the cat display. To do this, squeeze the trigger, the screen will illuminate, press the depth button and hold. The screen will display the day, month and year when the service is due. However, within 31 days of the service due date, the word CAL will flash on the display and the number of days left before the service due date. The function check should be carried out before use. Make sure the Genny is not placed over any utilities when carrying out the function check. Set the cat to Genny mode at maximum sensitivity. Hold at waist height with the flattest part of the housing parallel to the ground, pointing towards the Genny. Check that the cat can detect the Genny up to 15 meters away with a clear audible sound. The known source test should be done by the user at least once a week. This requires the cat to be set on power mode at maximum sensitivity and passed over a live cable. This can be replicated by using an extension cable, 110 volt or 240 volt, which has a switched on appliance connected to the extension cable. The cat should buzz when passing over the extension. The first option for direct connection is connecting to a street lamp. Before touching or connecting to any metallic surface, the volt stick should be used. When connecting to the street lamp, use the red lead with the magnet connection if possible. If not, use the jaws of the crocodile clip connecting onto the casing. Under no circumstances should the casing be removed. In Genny mode, adjust the signal level control so that the cat display is set to half the scale. Where possible, walk around the column making a note of any signals detected. Once a signal has been detected and the direction has been established, the route can then be followed. Cables to and from other street furniture may also be detected by making direct connections to the metal casing. It should be noted that the signal may weaken when travelling through joints or service connections. There are various types of direct connections that can be used. Connect the red Genny lead to the copper outlet pipe inside the meter box and run the black lead to an earth. The house entry T or riser is another way of directly connecting to the internal copper pipework. Wall lights outside the property can also be used for direct connection, assuming that the casing is earthed. An outside water tap is also another way of getting a direct connection. You can trace the water main by directly connecting to the hydrant. In the same way, the gas can be traced using either a siphon or an upright or directly connecting to a steel service. Another way of inducing a signal into a cable, such as a sky dish cable, is to wind the red lead around the cable or shroud and then clip the crocodile clip back onto itself. This will send a signal through the low voltage system in the house and out through the electricity service. This is known as signal jumping. When using signal jumping, press the boost button on the Genny, as this will amplify the signal. Please note that when connecting the earth there will be no change in tone. The black lead now needs to be earthed approximately 3 to 4 meters away from the Genny. The most common earth is a spike method. This should be gently pushed into the ground at a 45-degree angle only after a CAT survey of the area has been carried out. Switch the Genny on and a good earth connection is indicated by a drop in the loudspeaker tone. Please take care not to create a trip hazard with the earth cable. If the cat appears to be oversensitive, try to slowly withdraw the earth spike. The tone will change and the earth will weaken, making the cat more accurate. Inside properties, the plug-in adapter can be used. Plug into an internal socket and connect the Genny. Please be aware that this device has its limitations. The plug-in adapter may not work on new builds because of the wiring systems. Also, properties with plug-in Wi-Fi systems have a negative effect on the signal that the cat receives. If possible, ask the customer to disconnect the Wi-Fi system. An RCD should not be used in conjunction with the plug-in adapter. It has been known that the plug-in adapter has tripped the main fuse board. Please check with the customer for any safety critical electrical appliances. When using the signal clamp around a pipe or cable, ensure the jaws are completely closed. The cat needs to be at least 3 meters away from the loop and Genny when surveying. Switch on the Genny and open and close the clamp. If the jaws are correctly closed, there will be a change in tone as the jaws make contact. Induction should be used after all previous methods have been exhausted. Place the Genny on the ground with the handle in line with the assumed route of the pipe or cable. The chevrons on the Genny need to line up with the chevrons on the cat. Move the Genny at least 10 meters away from the area in which you are marking up. Place the Genny at least 10 meters from the scan area. Position the Genny next to the curb and scan across the excavation area. Any signals picked up should be followed and marked up across and out of the excavation area. Move the Genny and follow the same process. Move the Genny at least 4 positions. Trace and mark up. Move the Genny to the opposite side of the excavation area and repeat. Move the Genny to the 3rd, then the 4th side of the excavation area to complete your survey. To check for airborne signals, scan the cat across the assumed route of a buried utility. Aim the cat directly towards the Genny. If the signal stays the same or increases, the signal is airborne. If the signal decreases or disappears, the signal is coming from the buried utility. When the Genny is placed on the ground with the handle in line with an assumed route of a pipe or cable, set the cat to Genny and trace the route of this signal. This is known as induction. With the Genny placed on its side over the signal to be nulled, this is used to mask the signal with a wide band or a strong signal, which is possibly masking a second cable or pipe running close by. This is called nulling out. The depth button can only be used in conjunction with the Genny. If the Genny is on induction mode, the cat must be at least 25 meters away. If using a direct connection, this can be used within 5 meters. With the trigger squeezed and the cat positioned directly over the pipe or cable, press and release the depth button. The depth displayed is an estimate and should only be used as a guide. To check the depth reading, lift the cat approximately 300 mm above the surface and check this distance has been added to the initial readings. Please note that when checking the depth of a pipe, the reading is to the centre of the pipe. Therefore, the radius of the located pipe must be subtracted to give the depth of the top of the pipe or crown. Do not knowingly use the depth indicator over any joints, connections or bends. Any direct connection signal, such as a lamppost or plug-in adapter connection, which would be lost if the connection was removed, must be reconnected during excavation. It is important to rescan each layer of excavation as it is removed. This should be a maximum of 300 mm.